So for the ease of installation of the handlebar, we need to reroute a few cables. First will be the clutch cable, which you can see goes under the header pipe. The second ones will be our electrical cables, which goes in the front of triple T, both sides. And the last one will be the brake line, which you can see is fixed here with a clamp. So first, to reroute the clutch cable, just loosen up the bolts. After loosening the nuts here, you just have to push the cable and remove the cable from the socket. Apply some lubricant on the head and just remove the rubber part, the rubber covering over the wire, and then just remove the nut from the wire and pull the wire out all the way. So now, since the wire is all the way out, just pull it from the housing that is placed on the chassis, and then just simply pull the clutch cable all the way out on the left. So pulling the cable out, just make sure when you put the cable back in, make sure the brake line that is coming from the left side going toward the right side is above the clutch line, so that the brake cable just crosses over the clutch cable. Now just simply pull the clutch cable, so this time from the outside of the header pipes. Once the clutch cable is rerouted from the outside of the header pipes, all the handlebars are provided with this guiding wire that can be fitted on the bolt where the engine guards are fitted, and just route the clutch cable from the loop all the way up so that the clutch cable doesn't touch the header pipe or the cylinder heads. The next will be the brake line. As you can see on the left side of your bike, under the tank, there is a clamp which is holding both the cables. One is going in and one is going out. So all you need to do is just use 10 mm spanner or a wrench, whichever is available. Just open the bolt, remove the clamp, and just simply push the cable which is going towards the brake lever up, and just simply put the clamp back on its original position just after releasing the cable which is going towards the brake line. So what this little maneuver will do is just simply release the cable that is going towards the brake lever. It will just give some slack to the line, so that once we are just turning the handlebar right or left, it will just not give any kind of tension on the wire. Third and last part of the rerouting will be our electrical cables on the right hand side and the left hand side. So what we have to do is just reroute these wires, not from here but from the back side of the clamp going towards the housing inside the headlamp. So to do that, we just have to open up these two bolts that are holding the headlamp assembly. After removing the bolts that are holding the headlamp assembly, just twist and remove the headlamp. On the safer side, just remove the coupling which is holding the headlamp, and just put the headlamp aside so that while working you just don't accidentally damage the headlamp. After removing the headlamp, you can see all the harness, the wiring harness. It is nicely tucked under this plastic cover which is holding holded by the bolt here. So all you need is a Torx L key or a spanner that is a 20 number, and just loosen up the bolt and just pull the housing outside, and then you can see all the connectors here which are pretty nicely color coded, so there won't be any kind of confusion which connector to put in which coupler. So now all you just need to do is just identify the right hand side, the left hand side and the right hand side electrical cable couplers. So this seems to be the left hand side coupler, and here there are like a couple of couplers on the right hand side. Just remove them and pull them out, reroute from this place behind the triple clamp, and just put them back in as they were. As you can see, we have just rerouted the left hand side cable from behind the triple clamp, and we have just put back in the connector, and we are just going to put it back on its in its original position. Mind you, these new connectors are sometimes a little bit harder to pull out, so just be patient and don't use extra force, which can actually damage the connectors. Also, one additional rerouting we can do is, since the brake line is going under the ignition switch, so we just have to reroute the brake line above the ignition switch so that it can come from this place and goes all the way up. So to do that, we just have to open up the headlamp housing by removing these two bolts which are provided on the clamps on the other side, and just pull the complete housing a little bit out so that the brake line has a little bit of space to just slide up. And to do that, we have to again remove the coupler which is connecting the ignition switch inside here, and just move that and reroute the cable from above that. Now you can see our brake line is completely free, which was previously going under the ignition switch. Now it is going above the ignition switch, and it has got like a lot of slack. So now you can put back the headlight housing back into its original position by just following the steps which we will take, and that is it. That is all the rerouting which we have to do to install our mini ape handlebars. So after rerouting all the cables, just fix the modules back on the handlebar, right hand side and left hand side, which are pretty simple, and you are good to go. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day and ride safe.